Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the fucks I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming now, my roof leaving, don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the shit by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. End of discussion, fuck all them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. Shit is disgusting, I hear them bragging about shit that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old shit. I'm on they ass now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. Niggas is trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the sky's the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies, I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting sucked off in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the fuck on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the fuck out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the fucks I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
Put it all on my daddy. Niggas know how I'm coming, and they know what we
What up, family? We back at it again. This is your brother DMG the Poet. Before I get into my spiel, because y'all see the title of the show, let me say hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Shalom to my Israelite brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of God's and earth, them 5%ers. I want to say what's up to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Salute to my atheist brothers and sisters. Want to say what's up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters out there. And finally, I want to say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can't have unity without uniformity. And we can't disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, why does everyone hate on SaNeter? And I'm gonna open up the floor in a minute. But I'm constantly struggling with this question. And before I get into it, I want to say this has nothing to do with the personal issue that's going on between him and my sister Neo X. That's my sister, regardless of what's going on with her and SaNeter. Whatever happened with her and SaNeter, she gonna be my sister. I don't agree with what Sa said regarding what happened to her. The reason I didn't react the way I did when Cube said what he said is because I know it was a personal friendship between them, and they both dealing with some pain, some disappointments regarding how that friendship went. I don't know if it'll ever be rectified. And so I don't want to step in regarding that and try to turn the tide either way, because sometimes you know how it is when your sister in the situation and you jump in and then that situation go in the opposite direction of the way you think it was gonna go, and now you and that party is at odds, and so that situation will resolve itself or not resolve itself, however it need to be resolved. But that's my sister, so this has nothing to do with that. Same thing goes for my sister Texas Bama. She entitled to feel however she want to feel, but she gonna be my sister. She always show love and support. I'm always show love and support for her. So I want to make sure I get that out the way first. This is not me addressing them in the same manner that I address other people regarding SaNeter. That's off the top. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about the JJ 7000s, the Buddha Spazzes, you know, the Afro Samurai over there in Japan talking tough, like he gonna do something over here when he way over there. People of that ilk, the Taharka Bays and others. What's my man? Uncle Bug or whatever his name is. All of these different individuals, Frenchie over there speaking on what we got going on over here in America while he all the way over there in France. All of these individuals who in any other situation would have their head stuck up that man's butt. But when things didn't go the way they wanted it to, all of a sudden, he the worst person in the world. That to me is some weirdo stuff. That's some cowardly behavior. That's some disingenuous behavior. And it's coming, the fact that it's coming from grown men make it even weirder. Judah Nash was just on SaNeter channel, or Buddha Spaz, Buddha Ass, whatever you want to call him, was just on SaNeter channel not too long ago, bigging him up. SaNeter got the soundbite. This is the toughest environment, with his weird voice. And now he want to say that SaNeter channel is the home of pedophiles and included me in that. When what I got to do with anything you talking about? But that's the type of individual he is, and that's cool. Same thing with JJ. JJ, you be on the man panel. I done seen the man straight dog walk you verbally, and then you do the same thing to him, and 2 days later you back over there with your head stuck up his butt. But this is a continuous cycle. Taharka Bey has said out of his own mouth, this man has said out of his own mouth that the reason he able to do what he do, the inspiration for him doing what he do, is SaNeter. Yet you got all this stuff to say about SaNeter. It's kind of weird when you look at all of these different people. And again, let me say this: the same thing I said about Neo and Texas Bama applies to my brother Garfield. That's a personal friendship that, while I don't like what SaNeter said about Garfield with regards to his reaction, I think it was a mistake in that I think he took what Garfield said the wrong way. I think they've been brothers for years, and I think they're gonna work that out however they work it out. That don't mean I agree with what SaNeter said about Garfield. So this ain't that either. I want to make sure I put that in there. But the thing is, SaNeter is a human being. We act like SaNeter is above reproach and above making mistakes. And that be my issue. All of these different individuals come up with these scenarios that to me don't make a lot of sense. Like, I can't make a man be something because somebody who he associate with is that thing. If my man, nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel is into a particular thing, because he my man, that means I'm into it. That's not how real life work. That's not how things go in real life. And so it's kind of strange to me that we make these correlations. Well, such and such was on SaNeter show, and such is this, or is accused of this. SaNeter must be this. But the truth is, in my opinion, this is the truth. We see these people make content about SaNeter because they can't be on SaNeter show no more for whatever reason, whatever the fallout was, because they can't go on his show. They make content about it. Either way it go, everybody eating off of SaNeter in some form or fashion. Ain't nobody really blowing no whistles on SaNeter, because if that was the case, with all this content out about SaNeter supposedly being guilty of XYZ, ain't nobody came and saw that man yet. Ain't nobody been able to prove nothing yet. Think about it. Like, all of this content is out about how terrible this man is, and ain't nothing been done about it. And again, I'm not talking about his personal situation with his queen. I'm talking about he's a scammer. He's a CM. Ain't nothing came of that with all of this content out. We got people cutting up videos, saying this man have a disease that he don't have. This is beyond weird. Why are you worried so much about this man's life? The issue is this is the only kind of content you can create. That's the problem. And so, who? Okay. That's the issue. The only kind of content these individuals can create, because they're not creative and they don't have the connections where people want to come and vibe with them, is that they have to create a narrative surrounding this man instead of being creative and coming up with their own content. That's all this is. Because when you make up stuff, blatantly make up stuff, all this is about is hate. But then these same people will turn around and come on his show, pretend to squash the beef with him so that they can gain some exposure and build up their platforms. They platforms that they've modeled after his platform. See, one thing that's true that people have to understand and kind of get through their head, SaNeter bigger than just SaNeter the person. So you could dislike the person. And that's understandable because nobody likes every single individual person. Every single individual person has some things about them that we don't like. But I'm talking about what about the institution that SaNeter is built? Because like it, love it, be indifferent to it, his channel, his platform is an institution. And it's a Black institution. Because you can't tell me another place that Black people can go, put out their information, get paid for that information, and then take that information and either expand their platform or create their platform. How many people do you know, whether they had a platform that already existed or they didn't have a platform at all, went on SaNeter platform and came off of his platform and were able to expand their platform? I guarantee you, if you ask Jaborio Saze, before he went on SaNeter, he had a platform. But since he's been on SaNeter, that platform has exploded. That's a fact. Shaka Amos had a platform before he went on SaNeter. But after he started coming on SaNeter, that platform exploded. Cyrus Seti, same thing. Young Pharaoh, same thing. The list go on because it's an institution at this point. If you go on SaNeter channel and you play it right, you can blow your platform up. It's bigger than the individual. But let's talk about the individual, because everybody want to act like this individual is a flawless deity that people is supposed to worship or something, when he a man. And men make mistakes. Men lose their temper and fly off the handle. Right? That's what human beings do. But we want to hold, because he's built this institution, we want to hold him to some kind of higher standard that we ourselves don't even live up to. So he can be attacked at every angle: his personal life, his health, his finances, his integrity all around. But when he attacked back, when he blow up, look what he said, look what he did. Like he not a human being. And let's be clear, this ain't me, because you got some weirdos. When I say weirdo, JJ 7000, that's my man. Like, I respect dude. But he says I'm kissing SaNeter ass because I had SaNeter on my show. So because you have a guest on your show, you kissing their ass? How often am I on SaNeter's show? SaNeter don't promote my show. See, what y'all got to get through, like and when I say y'all, I'm talking about cats that think like JJ. What you got to get through your head is, I can disagree with a brother on several things and still recognize, like I do with you, JJ. I disagree with you on a lot, but I can still recognize the positive things that you do without kissing your ass. Just like I can disagree with SaNeter on several things and still recognize the positive things that he do. What's hard about discerning the differences and the nuances of that? But when you got hate and envy in your heart, when you want to be what this individual is, it's hard for you to see. And that's y'all problem. Y'all want to be him. I tell people straight up out the gate, SaNeter inspired me to do my YouTube channel, but I don't want to be SaNeter. Because you're not going to talk about my wife and my kids and come on my show. I don't care how much bread we can make together. I don't care what kind of views I'm going to get. It's never going to happen. So I don't want to be SaNeter per se, but I respect what he's built. See, everybody talk about like the man don't have no integrity, but I've told the man some personal things about me, health-wise and otherwise, and I ain't heard it repeated by nobody. But when you have people pushing you and pushing you and pushing you, talking about your wife, talking about your health, talking about your kids, talking about your business, your money, that takes a toll on anybody, never mind him. Now, again, I don't agree with the way he reacts to some things, and I don't have to. We men. I'm simply saying, does that negate the institution he's built? So Jabari and Ali Muhammad, two black men, made however much money by coming on SaNeter's show, building up to a debate, and then having that debate. When they have live events, black people who are vendors come to those events and make money based on being at that event. It's other places where things similar to that is happening. But in this quote unquote conscious sector of the black community, where is it happening like that? Where are those opportunities like that? And you got people who want to take that away for what? Because if we take SaNeter platform and this institution he built away, what are we gonna replace it with? Can you, meaning the haters, can y'all do it better? I'm just curious. See, these are things we don't think about. And this is why I say heavy is the head that wears the crown. Because if this wasn't the biggest platform, nobody would be worried about attacking him because they'd have another target. But because he got the biggest platform and he's built the institution that they all eat off of, it's lucrative to attack him. You get views when SaNeter name is in the title. I got 18 people in the chat right now because SaNeter name is in the title. That's a fact. So what's the real motivation behind this? I'm not talking about the people who genuine and people who have a genuine gripe. Again, Neo and his situation is personal. They was friends. Friends fall out. Things happen. That's a personal situation. I'm not speaking on that. I'm not speaking on the situation with Garfield. My sister, Texas Bama, she got issues that go beyond some YouTube stuff. I'm not speaking on that. And if that's what your situation is, I ain't speaking on that either. I'm simply talking about these YouTube cats who helped, who built a name for themselves by going on SaNeter channel. Again, they either made their brand bigger by going on SaNeter channel or they built their brand by going on SaNeter channel. And now, because they feel a way about something that occurred on SaNeter channel, they in their feelings. The French dude was happy to come on SaNeter channel. And he knew everything that was going down. He knew everything that was going down. And he was happy to come over there and be a part of the House of Consciousness. But when Captain Tazoriak beat the brakes off of him, he got in his feelings. And that's when he started doing these attacks. But everybody seemed to forget how happy and ecstatic he was to be a part of the HOK before he got his butt kicked. That's disingenuous. You was good with SaNeter before you came over there and got your butt kicked. After you got your butt kicked, now all of a sudden SaNeter channel is horrible, it's evil, blah, blah, blah. And then when the man clapped back against you, oh, you feel away, you're so sad. He's a disingenuous dude. And why is you over there in France speaking on what we got going on over here anyway? The Afro Samurai, Judah Naz, he was literally defending Brother Polite. He was defending him. But he got his feelings hurt by SaNeter. And now he want to talk about Chomo this, Chomo that. He want to talk tough from Japan, and he ain't gonna bust a grape. That's what these dudes do. They spoil petulant children because they all SaNeter kids and they mad at their daddy. Jeremiah Judah. How many times him and SaNeter then got into it and then he turned around and come right back on there? How many times? And then when you push a man to his limit, or at least appear to, because I believe Jeremiah Judah gonna be back on SaNeter channel, because that's what SaNeter do. He remind me of Vince McMahon in WWE, for those who watch wrestling. Vince McMahon will fall out with a wrestler, and the wrestler come back. If they can make money together, they make money together. And that's what SaNeter do. Again, I ain't got that in me. Salute to him, because I ain't got that in me. If we beef for real, then we beefing. I ain't gonna wish death on another black person unless they coming for me in that manner. But I ain't never gotta see you again or have you on my platform ever again. So salute to him for being a forgiving brother and moving past that and getting back to business. And the same thing for the people who were able to come back after that situation. So I think Jeremiah Judah gonna end up coming back on SaNeter platform. But for now, his thing is anybody that deal with SaNeter is kissing butt. So what do you be doing when you jump over there after y'all done got into it? You bowing down and you kissing the ring. That's what you're doing. And it's okay, but just keep it a buck. See, at this point, we just got to get to the heart of the matter. These are petulant children mad at their daddy. These the little princes fighting over the inheritance that the king gonna leave. And because of that, they got strife between them and they mad at their daddy. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Y'all free to come on. Shirley, Larrier. Let's see what you said, sis. This is really sad. Our people are so damaged and broken, and we as a people fail to realize it. This goes to show that the frame really can't see the picture. That's an interesting comment. I'm not going to even pretend to know what it means, but salute to you. Free mind, what you saying? So I have a very good heart. That's why he always allowed them to come. And that's what's up. That's what's up. And so, hey, my sister, Texas Bama, is entitled to say whatever she want to say. That's my sister. She one of the queens. And again, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. You have some people who polarize by SaNeter, and you have other people who see a little bit beyond, the stuff that's on the surface. And I choose to see beyond that. Like I said, the man has built an institution where Black people can come, give their information, and get paid for it. Beyond your traditional European institutions. Where else do we have that? And if we take it away, what are we gonna replace it with? That's what we gotta ask ourselves. So I'm putting a link in the chat. You can come in, share your opinion. I gotta make a quick phone call, so I'm gonna play a little music, But again, I just want to know, if we remove SaNeter and the institution that he built, what are we going to replace that institution with? And why do we hold him to this position of being a flawless being when he's just another human being like us? I'm just curious. I'll be right back in a second.
For my real rap niggas, man. We tired of that bullshit, man. Retire that. They don't really want to hear the truth no more. Think they scared how it make them feel. And you can say anything you want about me. I ain't worried, that don't make it real. They don't really want to hear the real no more. Think they scared how I make them act. And you can say anything you want about me. I ain't tripping, that don't make it fact. Look, coming live from the gutter like a cold puddle. When niggas water whipping, road shuttle, motherfuck your whole huddle. Dutch burning, moving slow, I'm feeling like the minute hand. All wishes granted to me, turning in a tenant van. Been the man, never question nothing that was in the plan. See it from my third eye vision, so I understand. Poolside plotting moves like a dance team. 100 band scheme, in the dirty with my hands clean. Never been the type of nigga they could castrate. 5th grade, I was selling candy to my classmates. I ain't call her back, I let her think about the last date. Student of the game, and I promise you not a classmate. Problem is with these rap niggas, they move iffy. In my mood picky, can't let these niggas get rude with me. God spitter known to keep my dick lips in it. Here to fuck the game, niggas acting like I slipped in it. Small town fly shit, bitch you never heard of these. On my apex shit, tip top vertices. It ain't mouths moving, but they know.
All right, so it looked like we ain't got no takers with regards to coming in and saying why it is you feel SaNeter should be hated on, or why it is you feel like he should be supported. But that's the question. Again, heavy is the head that wears the crown. When you doing things that other people want to do but can't do, people tend to hate. You get jealousy and you get envy. When you don't capitulate to what other people think you should be doing when you at the top, people tend to get angry with you. So is that the situation with our brother, or is it something more sinister at play like everybody seems to think it is? I think it's a way more nuanced conversation than that. I think it's a lot deeper than that. And I think people tend to put expectations on this man that they shouldn't put on. I think we should just appreciate the man for what and who he is and what he's built, as opposed to coming up with these lofty expectations as if he a deity or a god of some sort, because that's almost what it sounds like we expect him to be. But people always ask me, why do I defend SaNeter? And it's the same reason I defend MLK. And I'm not saying SaNeter is MLK, but I'm saying that MLK was an important figure in the overall Black community, just like Malcolm X was, just like Khalid Muhammad was. And all three men had their flaws. I'm saying here in 2023, SaNeter is an important figure in a corner of the Black community. And he has his flaws, but we can still respect what he's built, what he brings to the table. And if you don't want to like nothing else about him, you can respect that. But these made up narratives about him being something that he ain't, about prying into this man's personal life and talking about his health, his wife, his children, things of that nature, that go a little too far. Am I defending all his actions? No. Am I saying I agree with 100% of everything he do? No. But again, can I look at the bigger picture? Absolutely. And like I asked, if you take the HOK away, what you gonna replace it with? When you have a situation where Black people are able to help themselves economically and informationally, what are you gonna replace it with? For all the people who feel that the HOK is detrimental to our people and should go away, what are you gonna replace it with? Because where else can people of all backgrounds, teachings, doctrines, etc., come and put down their demonstration? At that level, in terms of the viewership and the support. Again, when they put on an event, the vendors that can come and sell their products. Where else? Because it don't make no difference if you look at Christian apologists, urban apologists, right? If you look at my Israelite brothers, ISUPK, whoever. If you look at the Moors, right? If you look at some of the NOI members who have built platforms, everybody took the blueprint that SaNeter made and used it for their platform. Tell me when I'm telling lies. ISUPK, the Cross the Line Radio, that was birthed out of SaNeter platform. And they come on, they show, they had their talking points, they had debates, etc. They took his blueprint and built a platform. Shaka Amos already had a platform. But I guarantee if you ask him, and he being honest, he'll tell you more people came to his platform and know about his brand since he been on SaNeter. And these individuals have taken that and expanded it and continued to build outside of his platform. And most of them don't give him no credit. I ain't never heard Dr. Umar outside of one occasion give SaNeter a whole lot of credit for him coming on the national stage. But we all know that story. So this is a thankless endeavor. When you see somebody become as well known as a Dr. Umar Johnson, right? And you know you played a large role in that, yet they rarely, if ever, give you any credit for it. That's a thankless aspect of what this man do. But you rarely even hear any complaints about it. The only time you really hear complaints is when it starts to be attacks. And it's like, wait a minute, I did this and I did that. And this, you see what I mean? Why do everybody hate on SaNeter? Jealousy, envy, greed. I remember when Sister Nepal first came on the show and it became apparent that they had linked up on a personal level. And the attacks that these so-called Israelites levied against that woman was disgusting. I'm talking about men attacking a woman. And like, listen, think what you want to think about the sister. Anytime I see men attacking a woman, it's just unsettling. But that's what they did. As if everybody don't have a past. And what did her past have to do with what she was doing with SaNeter? But yet, this is what they did because she was with SaNeter. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's disconcerting. And again, like I said, I want to make it clear. People who have a personal issue, my sister Neo, my sister Texas Bama, Garfield, and anybody else that's in that position where your friendship with SaNeter went awry and y'all having a personal issue, I hope it work out in whatever direction you want it to. I'm not speaking on that. I'm speaking on these YouTube cats who SaNeter helped make what they is, and the thanks they get that they give him is hatred and scorn. Why? Is they criticism legit? Or is it just, I want to be him and I can't be? I want to have the biggest platform. Like I said, we got to Harker Bay on tape talking about SaNeter is the reason he do what he do. We got Buddha Ass on tape saying this is the HOK, this is the toughest place to be in, and blah, blah, blah. You know, again, with the weirdo voice, the Afro Samurai himself. And then turn around and say they support Chomos when you was just over here. When you was defending Brother Polite. Again, talking tough all the way from Japan. We got Jeremiah Judah, who constantly butt hurt because he can't do what he want to do on SaNeter platform. Uncle Bug, who had the man daughter on the screen. Frenchie, who was happy to come on SaNeter platform like 2 or 3 times, and then got beat up by Captain Tazoriak and never got over it. He's like a scorned lover. Pause. But he's like a person who a date didn't work out with and they never got over it. But again, it's a scheme, because if I keep making content about this individual, I can keep getting views. So even though I ain't on his platform, I can eat off of his platform. So my assessment is they don't even really hate SaNeter. They love that man. Because regardless of if they on his platform or if they just mentioning his name, they can eat off of him. Because as soon as he whistle and say, come on back, they're going to run back like hungry dogs. Soon as he blow that whistle, come on back, they're going to scuttle back like little puppies. But until then, they could eat by mentioning his name. That's sick. So all these people gonna go back and apologize eventually. Maybe not the French word though, because I doubt, like I'd be surprised if SaNeter did deal with him on any level. Same thing with Uncle Bug. But again, that's another situation from years ago that went south. And he figured out, if I keep that man's name in my mouth, I'm going to get views. His whole platform is based on hating on SaNeter. Who thinks somebody, like, what kind of community do we have Like, what corner of this community do we have where if somebody did have AIDS, if somebody actually had it, why would that be something to ridicule? Why would that be something to make fun of? Now, we know SaNeter don't have AIDS. We know SaNeter deal with lupus. And we know they cut up videos and tried to make it look like something it ain't. But if somebody had it, why would that be something to make fun of? Y'all sick. If he really was a chomo, like Stinky Inky was trying to say, look at all the years you was on his program. And look at the time frame that you claim you knew about it. Why didn't you ever stop? Why didn't you report it? Why didn't you do something about it? So if it was true, you complicit. Like, people don't think about these things when they make up lies. People don't think about these things when they decide to go left. You making fun of somebody having a fatal disease? Another black person? And you and people applauding that? Because he disagreed with your doctrine? Y'all are weirdos. It's madness at this point. What's funny about somebody having a fatal disease? What's funny about you knowing somebody is actively in a relationship with a minor and you constantly being around that person and never doing nothing about it? What do that make you? See? But again, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And when you got a bunch of spoiled, petulant children, rebellious children, this is the result. Like, it's a story in the Bible where one of David's sons, King David, right? His son Absalom got out of control, decided he wanted his father's kingdom, and actually went forth and trying to take it. And his father was reluctant to battle his own son. He loved his son, like a good father usually do. But eventually, Absalom had to be stopped. And that's what's going to have to happen eventually with all of SaNeter wayward, petulant children. Eventually, they're going to have to be stopped. It's out of hand. And so, again, link is in the chat. Y'all free to come in, say what you think. I'm going to give it maybe 5-10 more minutes. Try to open it up. Y'all see the Cash App, $DMG DAPOET. Support a brother. We got another show coming up later on. I got a little hater I got to deal with. Spoke on me, spoke on my platform, told a bunch of lies. Shouldn't have never mentioned my name, my G. Should have kept me out of it. I ain't never even had nothing to say about you. And see, unlike SaNeter, you ain't got to do it a bunch of times. See, SaNeter a good father. Like he let his kids bark, 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 bark. And then eventually he have enough and he go ahead and deal with it. Me, you ain't got to bark twice. You bark at me, I'm gonna assume you trying to bite me. And I'm gonna put you down like people do mad dogs. So Henry Williams of the newsroom, you're gonna learn to keep my name out your mouth. But yeah, hey, y'all come in and speak your speech. And we'll get to it. Because I really wanted to get the people opinion on why SaNeter is always being hated on. Is this a situation where we got the sports guru in the house, Gib T'Challa? What's the word?
Yo. Deep money in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's up? What's the deal, family?
You got it, man. What you say? Why does everyone hate on SaNeter?
Man, come on, man. This been going on for so many years. They call it the WWE. They call it he's the big scammer. Why you let these guys on your platform? You hear it all, DMG. You heard it all throughout the years. But guess what? Where was they at? They was right on 125th, standing next to him, getting on camera. You know, like this man is a celebrity.
Right.
He's a celebrity. They're like, nah, I ain't no celebrity. Nah, he have celebrities come to visit him.
Yeah.
They come past 125 to come to see him. Football
All
players, NBA basketball players,
boxers, yeah, all the time.
Boxers, motivational speakers, you know it. You know it. They hate this man. I don't think they really hate this dude. They hate themselves.
I agree.
Because they couldn't achieve none of the things. I mean, my goodness. The man allow you on this platform. He give you an opportunity.
Valid marriage permitted required.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I said, and again, you don't have to agree with nothing he say, but the hate that get thrown at this man, talking about his health. Again, we know he deal with lupus, but
Exactly.
These brothers talking about he got HIV because he told the story of how a doctor just threw that at him, and that's supposed to be funny that a man got. I mean, if a man saying if he said I was diagnosed with that disease, and we know what that disease could lead to, even with the advancements made, that's funny. And these is people
so damn funny about that.
I don't understand. And these is people who purport to follow the Bible,
right,
making fun of somebody, and even some people that purport to follow Kemetic spirituality. All of them align in their hatred for this man. That's amazing to me. I would never think it's funny or a good thing that somebody got AIDS or HIV. I don't care how they got it. But
Right.
the stuff they say about his wife, his children.
Man. These
Come on.
people that been in this house, that met his wife and his children.
Exactly.
Selling his couch, DMJ. He's selling his couch, man.
Like what kind of, like I said, I don't understand these individuals. So we got Vic Damone in the building, somebody really important. What's the word, bro?
Yeah, so just I had a couple questions. What would be, from your perspective, the problem with someone who believes in the Bible mocking someone like this?
Mocking somebody's health?
Yeah, even mocking somebody's health. Yeah.
That's a good thing?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm neutral on it. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, what would be the problem?
That's why I don't care who you are, Bible believer, Kemetic believer, whatever it is you espouse, where you supposed to be a person who want to see Black people move forward in power. Why would you make light of an individual possibly meeting a demise via life-threatening disease?
Yeah. What's your impression on the imprecatory Psalms?
Say it again.
How do you feel about the imprecatory Psalms?
The impregnatory Psalms?
The imprecatory. So basically,
elaborate.
So the imprecatory Psalms is IMPRECATORY, imprecatory Psalms. So there's a series of the Psalms where the enemies of God
bash your babies on the rocks and whatnot.
Yes. So that would be an imprecatory Psalm. There's, for example, the song Miriam's song coming out of the Exodus, where there was an entire diss track that they were to continue to repeat about the drowning of Pharaoh's army, who were in pursuit of the children of Israel. Ezekiel 18, for example, is a mashal related to dissing the king at the time, which people usually think is referencing Satan's fall, but it's not. It's a parody. A mashal. It's a parody, and it is mocking the future calamity that's to befall enemies of God. And so I guess I'm trying to figure out, because
why would I have I don't have a issue with those, because those were situations where those people had been persecuted and literally put into bondage, put into exile and things of that nature.
I'm with you.
Again, so what? I don't understand the correlation.
Well, that. We're about to correlate it right now. So watch this.
Go ahead. Make it work.
Would you say that that a physical crime is worse? That like let's say that a person was leading a person to the ultimate condemnation, something worse than slavery, something worse than oppression and things like that, where they were instrumental in guiding others to hell. If they spent their time mocking the Savior who was to come, mocking the God and the means of salvation. And so, well, let me ask you something. Is there something worse than physical death or physical slavery and oppression? Like, would you say that things that might happen in eternity, where things are forever, would be worse on a sort of moral scale than oppression and enslavement?
Potentially.
What sort of things would make it worse? Like let's say that I had a person. Let's say that I was a person myself that Plato might call a vicious philosopher, and I used my brain power and I used my influence to lead others to destruction that would befall them for all of eternity. Would that be worse than enslaving a person for 30 years, just on a time scale?
Would that be on you, or would that be on them for following you?
Oh yeah. So I guess that's a question for you. So if I don't know, let's say if it's children, if I say, hey kids, drink this stuff from under the sink, and they do it, I don't know, unless you have like some moral age of consent or something like
Well,
that.
yeah, kids, that's a whole different conversation.
How about unwitting adults? How about people's special needs? How about
unwitting adults?
Yes.
Can an actual adult be unwitting?
Oh, absolutely. So, for example, you walk into a doctor's office, or a person masquerading himself as a doctor and as some beacon of knowledge, who you trust to give you certain information, tells you, hey, take these pills and they're going to kill you. And so let's say, I don't know, let's say it's Johnson & Johnson, or the big, the people in charge of the opioid crisis. And, and so you have doctors telling consenting adults at that point in time, take these medication that everyone knew was going to be more addictive. And the people don't have this sort of specialized knowledge, nor are they purporting to have the specialized knowledge. They're coming to people who have claimed to have done the research and the homework. And then they give these people things that they knew were going to be addictive to them. And it ended up killing them, ruining their lives, ruining entire families as a result of. So in those cases, those are adults. But
these are adults who are trusting a quote unquote medical professional with their health.
Right. Yes. This is an analogy about a person who is purporting to have knowledge. Well, the problem is that there's unwitting adults, right? So you agree that there's unwitting adults?
Right. Okay. In that situation, because you would concede the medical professionals' knowledge in that area over your own.
Right. And we would do so because they made a profession that they have actually done the homework. It's part of their ethos. And so it's part of their credibility. So let's say that I'm a man and I spend my time saying, I've done research on blah, 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 blah. I don't bear responsibility for the things that come out of my mouth after that and for leading people astray, that sort of thing.
Well, you bear responsibility for what comes out of your mouth, but you don't bear responsibility for what somebody does as a result of what comes out of your mouth.
Okay, tell me why. What's the disconnect with a person? Well, because legally, for example, I would. So for all intents and purposes, legally, and the law followed from a biblical morality as its foundation.
So legally, if you told me if you shoot yourself in the head, you would become a billionaire. And then I turn around and say, okay, let me shoot myself in the head so I can become a billionaire. Legally, you would be responsible for the act I committed?
Absolutely. Because what the law assumes is that you and I, that our minds became one when we set out for the same mission. And so the crime, whatever crime you committed, I'm now guilty of. And so
I have no responsibility.
No. I didn't say you had no response. No.
What I mean is, I don't have any responsibility for looking into the claim you made with regards to me becoming a billionaire if I shoot myself in the head.
Well, of course you do. Of course you do, but that's a different topic. I'm asking about the
right. So my overall point is that.
Well, no, you got to ask my question. We got to get that.
What's your question? Do I think you would be responsible?
Yes. So if I tell you to do something and you trust my word, and I have you do something that's harmful, immoral, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah. If I trust you, then I feel like I still have to do the subsequent research.
This is not an answer to my question.
Yeah, no, I am answering your question because no person can just tell me to do something.
I get that, but that's not my. But this is not my question. That's not my question. I'm asking, am I responsible? Okay, so let me put it this way. Jesus says that those who tempt the little ones or lead the little ones into sin, it'd be better if a millstone was tied around their neck and they were cast into the sea. For becoming the causal agent, and this is why legally and logically this person is responsible, because they are a causal agent in whatever happens afterward. Because if not for my action, of giving,
I thought Jesus said it'll be better to tie a millstone around you if you touched.
No.
On the head of one of my little ones.
No, he didn't say touch a hair. He says if you cause one of these little ones to stumble.
Okay.
So
I see. Now I'm trusting you that's what it says. So if you're wrong, then you've led me astray. If you're wrong.
Oh, absolutely. And see that, and it's part of the reason why I try to be careful with things come out of my mouth. Other people are not so. But so in such a case, so let's say that I am that person and I lead other people astray. I could be a blind guide, like some of the Sadducees, Pharisees were, where Jesus had to tell them, neither the scriptures nor the power of God. let's say I'm one of these people, and I spend my life and I dedicate my life to misleading people, even if I don't know I'm misleading people because I am feigning knowledge, or because I know I actually don't know what I'm talking about. I know I couldn't answer questions if pressed. I know I don't have the knowledge of certain people who come up on my show. Like, I don't know, let's say, the person has a PhD in church history or something like that, right? And I come up there trying to talk to them about that. So I know I'm not on that level, but yet I speak in such a way, like, let's say I speak and tell people, hey, don't get this COVID vaccine. It'll turn you gay. And then people trust what I have to say, and they don't get the COVID vaccine. And then people in my community die. And you talked about caring about the community advancing before. Would it not be justice to want a person like this to deal with the consequences of their actions, of leading people astray? Is that not justice?
But how do we, if we going strictly off the Bible, how do we determine what the justice is?
Okay, so one, we wouldn't determine what the justice is. That what God has defined as justice already been rolled out. But what would happen? But what would happen? Like, for example, in Old Testament Israel,
So
you had a redeemer of blood.
So let's stay with SaNeter though.
Okay.
So let's say SaNeter is leading people astray, and it's his fault that these people decide to make whatever decision that they make, right?
As a causal agent, yeah.
So now, how would making fun of his demise be justified due to that? Because it isn't if let's say vengeance is due, isn't vengeance the Lord's?
Yeah, but vengeance has to do with actually using your hand to exact the justice yourself in a manner that's not in accordance with the law. So what I was going to say was, so for example, in Old Testament Israel, they had a redeemer of blood. And so let's say, I came, do we deal with the Old Testament?
Yeah,
we deal with the Old Testament, New Testament, the entirety of it. And so, but what we're talking about is God's model for this thing. So what I'm identifying here is what vengeance would be according to the law. And this would be someone actually exacting the justice. And oftentimes it says, vengeance is mine. It wasn't God saying, be passive or do nothing. But when you have certain systems in place, for example, certain governmental systems in place, as they did in Israel, they waited for that system to work. They didn't go rogue in doing things. And this is not also what we're talking about. We're talking about people saying, hey, this is the sort of thing that happens to people who do the sort of thing. God will not be mocked, that kind of stuff. Like I said, from the Old Testament to the entirety of the New Testament, you have more than one example of things just like this happening. Luke 13, for example, there's Christ talking, and they come to him talking about the Tower of Siloam falling on some people. And he says, same things will happen to you, repent or perish. And so there seems to be something that Christ is saying about this happening as a result of some sin, some action. And he tells people the same thing's going to happen to you. And so one of the things that certain things does, it serves as an example. So, and again, and this is just me asking, sort of your opinion on not on anyone going and saying, hey, we're going to go attack SaNeter. I think that would be wrong, improper, unbiblical, and illegal for numerous reasons. However, we're talking about someone who spends time mocking what essentially would be all of our Christian ancestors and that sort of thing. And, with the way he talks about Christians, who spends his time attacking over 80% of the Black community. And we talk about unifying, uplifting, and bringing the Black community together. Majority of us are Christian folk. And I'm talking about the lion's share of it, Christian folk. And he spends his time mocking these people. And that goes all the way back to all of the people who came before, who were likewise Christian, where Christianity was their beacon of hope, the reason that they revolted. And he spends his time mocking them, making fun of them. He also spreads lies again, and there's numerous things to do, with people dying and medical, for the medical stuff, with the whole COVID stuff. COVID's going to make you, the COVID vaccine is going to make you gay and all that kind of stuff. And so I think, DMG, and this is what I would submit to you, I think that you've been heavily influenced by PC culture of the West, to where these sorts of things make you uncomfortable, but they would have wholly fit into any other period of time. Bible aside, it would wholly fit into any other period of time. We live in PC culture, and so those sorts of things we've marked as a society we've checked off and said, hey, we don't discuss and talk about those things. But that's not the way I would have gone for the majority of history, let alone in biblical Israel.
And that's cool. That's cool. And with regards to what you're saying, again, if someone, just like with the Bible and the subjugation of Israel and them singing songs and making psalms about the destruction of those people, I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is because you disagree with somebody or someone's actions, you saying they have AIDS and making fun of that when that's not even the case. So again,
I certainly don't agree. I certainly don't agree with lying.
So again, the man has lupus. He's telling a story of how a doctor just wrote it off as AIDS. You have people doctoring the video to make it seem like he's saying he was diagnosed with AIDS and that's it, instead of completing the story and saying what it actually was lupus. And I had to go to several doctors because that one doctor just said, bam, you got AIDS, and was done with it, after going to several doctors and his sister reminding him, hey, our sister died of lupus. You might want to get that checked out, and then finding out it was lupus. No, what they do is doctor the video and then say he has AIDS, and then he started lying and saying he had lupus. What? Like, again, I hear what you're saying, but this ain't that. And so the whole mocking of his kids, his wife, his financial situation, his platform. If you want to talk about his platform and the information that he put out, cool. Even if you want to talk about the money he charged for his debates and all of that, that's fine. You ain't got to watch it. What are you bringing his wife and his kids into it for? See, to me, Westernly influenced or otherwise, I just don't agree with it. Because, and just like with a similar thing that happened with you, and you ended up going scorched earth because somebody mentioned your wife. Didn't mention you, but mentioned your wife. You didn't care when they mentioned you, and you went scorched earth because of it. We go too far when we start getting into somebody's personal life based on our disagreements. I'm never going to agree with that. And so that's what I'm talking about. Now, again, the examples you gave in the Bible, no, I don't have a problem with. I do the same thing with regards to what my ancestors endured and what we continue to endure here in America. So no, I would never have a problem with that. However, I do have a problem with what I see as it relates to what goes on with SaNeter, because what reason do you have to make up a lie about how the man was diagnosed? Had he said I was diagnosed with AIDS and you want to make fun of it, I still don't agree with that. But I think that would be more in line with the example that you've given. But he don't even have it. So yeah, I get it.
I just want to say, so one, to the Nerdy Brew, offered you, was it $10,000 last time to put up your logic credentials against mine? Stop dropping logical terms in here. As you can see, decorated in the area. So
who you talking to?
To the Nerdy Brew in the chat. He says,
"Oh, that's my bro. That's my bro. That's my bro."
Yeah, your bro's a liar. He came on the last time saying the same nonsense. And I offered him money. Him and another brew offered him money because everyone wants to throw out logic terms. Nobody cares, what logic actually is. Everyone just wants to, throw out logic.
You was gone off the show last night when my man started talking about logic. I was like, "Where is Leandre?"
Yeah. Thank God that happened. But that I wasn't there because his Bible stuff was way off too. But in either case, so I wanted to say that the only thing I was limiting this to, I was not targeting anyone's wife and family, stuff like that, nor about lying on anybody. I was simply I wanted to know your thoughts. And again, and different Christians through history have taken different views on the imprecatory Psalm, some of which, especially like one of the schools I went to was a Mennonite school. They wouldn't even, touch or address those, or, they had particular ways of dealing with them, some really scholarly ways of dealing with imprecatory Psalms.
I think people like, even when people try to give critiques against it, I think they forget about what had happened to the Israelites in with regards to making them come up with those Psalms. They forget that part. It's almost like they just thought, no, it wasn't just a conflict. This was actually a lot deeper than we just in conflict with these people.
Yeah, and I think likewise on that note, and I'll let you get back to the topic at hand. But I think that what with a lot of people, we've been so influenced by political correctness, right? Sort of liberal ideas of allowing folks equal opportunity of expression of their ideas and things like that. And so it's really funny because I've seen people press on that issue, and and then you end up having to like make a way for people to espouse, sort of terroristic views, and in order to like recruit for terroristic purposes, if it's followed to its logical conclusion, if you don't have any sort of cutting off period. I think when well, I'm offering 10,000 to you too, then Nerdy Brew, 10,000 you too. Show me your logical credentials, or stop posting logical things in the chat, because you talked about a false equivalent. There was not one. It was actually called an argument by analogy, and I know you don't know what that is.
You and Nerdy Brew got beef?
We if his name is Brew, we got beef anyway. So because if you're a Brew, you're automatically a liar. Hey,
Nerdy Brew. Hey, we got to get you in here, man, to have a dialogue with the Slim Reaper, man. I rock with you, so but don't feel bad. Everybody hates Slim Reaper just like everybody hates SaNeter.
Yeah, except for when they hate me, it's because I speak the truth. You could listen.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So
go finish your thoughts, because I'm about to get out of here. I forgot I had a picnic set up for my wife, and I'm getting close to that time. But
listen, my main reason for coming here anyhow was just because what I want you to do is, I want you to just for yourself in the future at some point in time. I want you to just look at the imprecatory Psalms and those sorts of passages, the sort of distances and things like that would have happened to, like Ezekiel 18. Ezekiel 18 is a mashal, a parody. It's a sort of mocking story that's told, predicting like well before this person fell and died and stuff like that. And again, people think it's the fall of Satan. I don't think that it is, and I think there's numerous Old Testament scholars who reject that sort of view. I think most of them that I know of do reject that view. But in either case, it would be a parody and a diss to a king and things like that, right? Prophesying sort of his fall, and they were supposed to repeat this thing. Children of Israel, they were supposed to repeat this thing, predicting this man's fall and his destruction. And you're talking about, like a physical fall and destruction, and so just to figure out, what you would do with those sort of things, sort of in your Christian walk, how you would read the sort of thing. Are you going to go, with the more pacifistic approach? If you're going to say, hey, if you're going to go with a more crusadist idea, of the enemies and that kind of stuff. So just let me know. That was my only point. I just wanted to come poke at you. I was just being antagonistic.
I got you. It ain't a good day if me and you ain't argued at least one time. So
yeah, you know how it is.
It's all good.
Hey, love you, man.
Hit the link, bro. I give you a couple of minutes. Yeah, what you got to say in closing, bro?
Oh man, I'm ripping around out here. I was on mute, so I'm listening. Oh, saying closing though, but no, in closing, just say like we said earlier, man. These guys sat down in SaNeter house. These guys promoted their so-called business, their tonics they sold to people, their water they sold to people, their cologne oils they sold to people, their schools that they offer people to come to, all due to SaNeter TV, Black News 102, SaNeter TV, all the likes, man. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the years, they come on here on these channels and start talking bad about SaNeter. I don't know why. The man opened his door for them, come to this house. You know what I mean? Some people stay the night in this house. You know what I mean? So these are disgusting individuals. No backbone, no stand on no morals, no principles, and no values. So that's what you're dealing with.
That's it. Hey, I agree 100%. And I understood what my brother Leandre was trying to say with regards to his analogy. I just don't think it applied in this particular situation. I think this is something else. And yeah, man, I think it's a bunch of spoiled kids mad at their daddy. And at the end of the day, when we talking about this YouTube thing, we've all taken this brother blueprint and created our platforms. We all use his layout to put forth our information, and so we all continue to do what we do based on that blueprint. And so when you see brothers who either made their bones on his channel or expanded their brand via his channel, all of a sudden become an antagonist because they didn't get their way, it just seemed like a bunch of spoiled kids being mad at their father. And again, I talk about David and Absalom, and eventually Absalom had to be put down, even though his father didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Gab, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
You got to come through.
No doubt, no doubt. Gab hosts the Sports Dungeon Sundays at 4 or 4:30 every Sunday. That's 4:30 Central Time. It's going to be coming back soon. He is the sports guru. We'll keep you posted on when that come back. And this brother is very knowledgeable in all facets of sports, basketball, football.
Yeah, man, come have fun, man. We have fun, man. Come have fun, bro.
No doubt.
Fun, man.
No doubt. So he will be coming back with that, and we'll keep you posted on that. We got another show coming up tonight. Like I said, I got to deal with a hater named Henry Williams. Spoke on my platform. Who? Henry Williams, yeah, the fake Indian over there at the newsroom.
Henry Williams, you said?
Yeah. Spoke on my platform in a discouraging way for no reason. I ain't never said nothing bad about the brother. Was willing to work with the brother, but he want to speak on paradigm shift for some reason. And you know, I'm not like SaNeter. SaNeter let them dogs bark, and then he eventually handle his business. You just got to bark at me once, and I think you're gonna bite me, and I put you down. So I'm gonna chances. I don't take chances, nah. So I'm gonna deal with the fake Indian and the fake newsroom tonight, and so y'all come black for that. Shout out to Leandre the Slim Reaper for coming on. Shout out to my boy Nerdy Brew in the chat. Cedric Ortega, man. Next time, hit that link, my brother. Much respect to you. Shout out to everybody who.
I see my boy last night. D Money. I see my boy last night, man. I ain't seen him in a while, man. Duran, man.
Oh yeah. He came on and did his thing. Thing. So we gonna definitely have him back on, man, and chop it up with him some more. So like I said,
you know I met him, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We ain't too far from each other.
Okay. That's what's up. So yeah, we'll be back at it again. So y'all come on back tonight and watch this breakdown of how we do liars and haters when they speak on man. So with that being said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Shout out to SaNeter, and shout out to y'all for rocking with us. We'll be back at it again. It's been Paradigm Shift TV 314. It's your brother DMG. We out. That's peace.